Hi everybody, and welcome back to Jay Hunter's Garage.
Look out!
As you saw in my last video, we went and picked up the engine for the Camaro. The new to me 3.8 liter V6 with supercharger, which is here on the engine stand. What you didn't see in the video was the engine. So this video is going to be about this engine and about our plan for making it fit into this rear wheel drive car. This engine is a 3.8 liter GM Series 2 3800 V6 with a supercharger that only came in front wheel drive vehicles. So that's going to be a challenge. So this is the engine that's going in the Camaro. V6, it's not a big honking horsepower engine, but you can get some decent power out of it, and it's got the added benefit of a factory installed and designed supercharger. This is the front of the engine, obviously, where all your belts go. Problem with this configuration is this is where the intake goes. This is going to be your firewall right here, so there's going to be a very limited amount of space here that's going to present some challenges, as well as your thermostat housing here. I'm going to have to figure out either a serious angle of hose here or another type of housing that fits on there and it's got a different angle. Ideally, coming straight off this way would take care of that. Now, let's take a look at the car and what room we've got. Okay, these cars don't have a lot of room to navigate, to change parts in here, just because of how tight the shock towers are and how far forward the cowl is over the engine. I mean, the engine goes back another 2/3 back there where you can't even see it very much less be able to reach back there. To get a throttle body on the back of this thing is impossible. You just don't have that much room. You don't have that much room. So what we've got to do is make a flange to go on the back of the supercharger, weld a pipe to it that will bring this throttle body out here on the front somewhere. I'm thinking it's going to be on the opposite side. At least that's what I've seen in some pictures. There's probably 3 or 4 other people that have actually done this successfully. So we're going to have some little bit of fabrication to do. Have to get the fuel rail situation figured out. Basically, we're going to have to deconfigure that engine for a front wheel drive car and reconfigure it for a rear wheel drive car. That's also going to involve the alternator. I'm anticipating much of the front of this engine is going to go on that engine, and we're going to have to do some fabricating and come up with some creative ways to make it work. Stick around. Before we put this engine in the car, I'm going to change some gaskets in it, take it apart. Not all the way, but enough to give me a good idea of what kind of shape it's really in, and to change some gaskets. That I don't want any problems with this thing once I put it in there. I want to be plug and play, mostly play. Just for kicks, let's take off a valve cover, see what we're dealing with. Speed handle, the old-fashioned way. I'd say we're looking pretty darn good here. I'd say it's probably been quite a while since this engine's been run. There is almost zero residue of oil up here. There's nothing in the rockers. They're all bone dry. So this looks good. This is very encouraging. I'm going to go ahead and put this one back on, just because I'll be hitting this with the pressure washer and get all this grime off of here. Gonna have a nice, pretty, clean, and painted and somewhat freshened up engine by the time we get ready to put this in. Okay, everything looks in order on this side. I don't see any broken valve springs, no bent valves, nothing stuck. I don't see any valves compressed either. That's odd. Let's pull the spark plugs and turn this baby over. Here's a tip. Whenever you're using one of these spark plug sockets that has a rubber insert, I like to shoot some WD-40 in it so that it'll actually let go of the spark plug once you pull it out. Really helpful for spark plugs that are on 4-cylinder cars where the spark plug sits down in a well. That way you can get it out, pull it off. When you tighten it up, then this won't want to stay. This will come off with your ratchet. Pull some spark plugs, see what we got. Wow, these plugs actually look really nice. A little bit of grime on there from the outside of the head, but the plug looks great. Spark plug again looks nice. These might even be AC Delco. AC Delco 41-061. May very well be the original spark plugs. According to how many miles I was told this had, which was 71,000, this is doing very well. It's looking very well so far. This one's a little wet. That's a 15/16 socket on the harmonic balancer. Through the magic of television, you got to see me find that out on the first try. Behind the scenes, it took me like 5 before I finally got the right socket. Alright, let's turn this bad boy and see what we've got going in the valve train. As we turn it, you should see the valves going up and down. Here we go. Well, she turns right away, that's a good thing. There's an event coming up called Woman and Machine in San Antonio, March 18th. If you'd like to learn about working on your car and how things work, there are some workshops they'll be having. It's from noon to 4, and there are people coming from all over the country to participate in teaching as well as learning. So check it out at pixiesandpixiedust.com, also on Instagram. Hey, thanks for stopping by, subscribing, liking, sharing. I really appreciate it. I'd like to recommend some other YouTube channels you might enjoy, which would be Camaro Rick. That guy's got some great content and really good quality videos. The Humble Mechanic, Eric the Car Guy, Classic G-Body Garage, and of course the ever popular Chris Fix. Go check those guys out too. Hit the like button, subscribe, we'd all appreciate it. Thanks, and have a great evening.